Hello everybody, welcome back to the Band of War Variety channel. Today's video we're going to be doing is going to be going over some new additions to the collection and albums for coin and currency. So recently my parents were on vacation, they brought back a couple things, coin shop that I like down there, bought me a couple things, and then I bought a couple things off of them. So we're going to look at what went into that, and then I also bought a $50 eBay grab bag too. That I did myself, just a few things in that added to the collection. So we're going to look at what all we got here to see what's been added. Just because I got enough stuff to justify making a video just about that. So this is in the Indian Head Sent album. We had a couple of changes in here. So I got off my parents at $18.99, which I already had. They asked me what date I wanted, so I told them $18.95 or older. They said they couldn't find anything out of the 1900s except for this, but they did get this. But it is stunning condition almost. I mean, not really stunning, but Liberty's fully visible. I mean, it's not a whole lot of mint wear on it, or circulation wear, so it definitely wasn't circulated as much compared to the original $18.99 that I had in there. As you can see, no Liberty visible. I've had this for a few years. I bought it in an eBay starter collection. So that's going up here in the shield reverse slot to show off the reverse for now. I'll fix that in there better later. But yeah, that replaced that. And then I got the 1903 in the eBay $50 grab bag. Average circulated condition is to be expected. Very, very common date, but yeah, added a different extra date to what we have here. So still not a lot in here, but we got another one in a replacement. So we have that album. This is the 1909 and 1940 Lincoln Cent album. So a couple things from the grab bag here. Up here, they gave me a pile of wheat cents. None of them are really rare, except for this one. I think it's a 1911 Denver, because you can see a faint trace of a mint mark right there. You see, right, I'm highlighting it. You can see right there, it's like a very faint trace of a Denver mint mark. I think they were giving me all crap common cents, like over here, all these common dates that I'll show you later. I think just because they didn't look close enough at it and didn't see the faint Denver, that they accidentally gave me a semi-key date, almost. Or not a semi-key date, but a better date. Or it might even be a semi-key date. I think it was worth like a few bucks, but yeah, definitely a good addition to the album. Hard to find mint mark in those years. And then over here, the 1938 Philadelphia that they gave me replaced the one that I had in here. So this is the one I had. As you can see, it's a replacement. And then the 1936 Philadelphia. This is the one I have, and I kind of like this one better. So we have those changes. Other than that, nothing else really changed in here. This is a V-Nickel album. So we have a couple additions to that from the grab bag. We have the 1903 here. Yep, there we go. So we have that. And then we have 1909 added as well. They also gave me a 1910 here, which isn't replacing anything. I think I have a 1910 in here for the reverse, as you can see, not in better shape than that. And then you have the 1910 over here, not in better shape. So yeah, nearly impossible to find good condition ones, and I'm sure they're not going to give you that for just 50 bucks. So, but yeah, we got the 1903, lower mintage for the 1900s. 1901's actually the scarcest. But yeah, and then we have the 1909. So that's all that has been added to this album. So we're gonna get that out of here. And then to the Buffalo Nickel album, we don't really have any additional add-ins. But the 1935, as I was looking through here, the one that I had in there, I just decided to check it because I seen a variety in the Red Book. It's a 1935 double die reverse. Now this isn't a strong example. It's not even really doubled. This camera's not focusing good today, but if you, there's like a little raised metal underneath the E and some thickness issues on the C, as you can see on a regular 35, how they're different a little bit, but it's not really doubled. I'm showing you a picture of the real double die on the right, so it's not really that much. I think it's just like a damage or mint issue. I took it to Treasure Hunt and they said it wasn't the real deal, so I had it swapped out with the one they gave me in the grab bag, the 35 Philly, but we'll be putting this one back in here just because it's not the authentic one, so it can just go back to the way it was. And then they gave 35 Philly, 36 Philly, and 37 Philly for Buffalo Nickels. All dates we don't need, all common dates. And these are the other wheat cents they gave me. You got a 38 Philly, 35 Philly, 56 Denver, 36, 37, 48, another 48. So, yeah, all stuff we don't really need, and none of that replaced anything. So we have that, but that's really it for that. Then I'll get you the Mercury Dime album. There was no Mercury Dimes in the grab bag. My parents showed me a couple when they were on vacation. I bought them off of them. Some nice rare dates I bought in good shape. The 1918 S. I paid around what it was worth in dealer pricing, but you have that. And then 24 Denver. It's also rare, low mintage date. We have on that in nice shape. But those are just two additions to that album. And then the other album I had in addition to was my Vitmon Washington Quarter album here. This is the 65 to 87. They gave me an uncirculated 1987P in mint packaging. It was from a 1987 uncirculated mint set, but they just cut the quarter out of the set and gave you that. And all the other coins, I guess, got shipped to someone else, so it wasn't the full set. So I just cut it off its packaging and put it in my album. And it replaced the one I already had in there. So that's an uncirculated one. Not in mint packaging anymore. So that's it for album. I have one addition to my currency album, but we'll get to that in a second here. Other things we got are those, this, and we'll go over that here. So this is the rest of the grab bag stuff. They gave me a 1962 proof Lincoln cent. So we have that. Nice shape. I put them in these 2x2s and put a date on them. It's 1974 S proof Jeff Nickel. 1982 S proof Rosie dime. Do that. And then we have a 1974 S proof Washington quarter. I have the 1978 S proof from the other grab bag too, so you got quite a little set of proofs from this stuff. And then parents bought me this. It's a 1943 Lincoln Steel cent. My dad said it looked nice, that's why I got it. Well, I did some research into it, and it was actually a reprocessed cent, which kills most of its value. This is not uncirculated. It's around the 1970s. coated these in a fresh layer of metal, either copper or zinc, to like make them look nicer, which erases most of their patina, so they're referred to as reprocessed, and they're significantly less valuable. So this is probably worth close to 1 cent. But either way, I didn't pay for that, but even still, that's just I guess that kind of makes it still part of a piece of history, part of a reprocessing error we went through. But yeah, that's a reprocessed Lincoln steel cent. They gave me a 1925 Philadelphia Standing Liberty quarter in hammered condition, which I don't need. It's still junk silver. And then we have a 1916 British half cent with Edward or George V on it. So we have that. And then from Gems and Gems Collectibles, which I ordered something a while ago off of on eBay, they sent me a paper in the mail thanking me for the order with this taped to the back of it. It's another 1943 Philadelphia steel cent. So that is that. That's all the loose stuff we got. And then there was one more thing that I got from the grab bag, and that was my banknote album. This is the addition to the banknote album here. So we have the 1957A they gave me. I already had a 1957A. This one's a little nicer, but I'll just put it in here. Only a couple bucks it's worth, but still an older piece of currency that I'm not going to find in circulation. So that's that one. And then a couple other changes to the banknote album I made was I had this beat up 2004 $10 bill in here. It had like 40 written on it. I kept it because I got it back in change at the same place that I spent it, so I like considered it to be have personal value or something. It wasn't in greatest shape, so I got rid of it and found a nice 2017A, not too bad a shape, star note. Figured that'd be a better example to keep in here, because new bills, you want nice examples, not really hammered ones, because that's just the way I feel. A lot of staining. If I find a better store note, it'll replace that, but other than that, that's been switched out. I also had a 2004 Series 20 in here. That was the first series of issue for this type of design. When we transitioned from this design to this new, more colorful and more secure design, there's really no reason to keep this because it's not going to be worth anything really for hundreds of years. There's so many of them made, and it's not really in that great a shape, and it's not a star note. So I have this 2009 star note that I'm keeping in here, but I'm taking this out because this is $20 I could get back for something I really don't care to keep in here. So moved everything up from that. And then the $100 bill, I had 3 of these old $100 bills. I kept the 1977 and the 1990 because it's just a nice shape. And I'm getting rid of the 1985 and putting it back in spending money because, one, it's not in nice shape. Not too bad of a serial number, but just not in the greatest shape, and I don't need to keep $300 in there for that. This is just because it's nice, and this is just because it's an older, harder to find series. If I find an older than this, I'll replace this with that. But I'm putting this back in the spending money and move that back up. So just some changes I made to maybe free up some space for if you get something more valuable, purchase something or something that's just more rare or nicer than keeping something like that. So, because I already got a lot of not so valuable stuff in here, just things to illustrate the type and really nice examples, but other than that, I'm changing that out. So those are the changes to the banknote album. So guys, like I said, just a real quick video on this stuff. but enough things I could justify making a video about. Just some real quick additions to the collection. It's been a while since I got some coinage, so I just wanted to get something that had older coins in it other than doing coin roll hunting. I've been taking a break from the coin roll hunting because I got a second, if you remember my nickel box hunt that I did, that was the last hunt I did on the channel. I got a box of pennies with that, but they were all brand new 2024s. I went back and exchanged it and got another box of pennies. I still got it down there, and they were also uncirculated 2024s in every roll. So I just put them all back, and I'm going to take that back at some point. But just taking a break from that for a while. But other than that, got a few little things. And we got an addition to the Banknote album, which doesn't frequently happen. But that's about it. What it's looking for with future things happening on the channel is obviously we're going to have this video. I'm continuing the World War II series through FPS games. So that's moving along. I like to do that. And when I get to 250 subscribers, which I'm real close, I'm at 240 right now, I'm going to upload a 250 subscriber special, a little skit movie that I made like I did earlier on my channel with the Resistance story and Karkady and the Bucketheads and all that, Battle of Grotage and stuff like that. And I used to make all those short films. It's been a while since I made one of those videos because I just haven't had a whole lot of ideas. But I think this one will be good. I already have it made and ready to go when I get to 250 subscribers. Put some good time into this, real polished around the edges, so that'll get uploaded once I reach 250, and that'll get some variety up on the channel. But for now, we're going to have this video, and we're going to continue World War II series until I reach 250. And then I may consider making a few videos in the future about how I made those movies. So like I'll do a video about how I made this 250 subscriber special, or go back and explain the details of the filming process of some of my older videos. Just maybe get something else that we don't usually do up on the channel and make things a little more interesting and break it up a little. But other than that, guys, that's going to be all that's written for today. So please like, subscribe, so it helps out the Banknote Board Variety channel, and stay tuned for those upcoming uploads. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video.